And hello everybody, welcome to the February 9th, 2021 edition of the Sports Buzz. I am RJ and I am going to quickly recap Super Bowl 55. But before I go into my Super Bowl recap, because it took me a couple of days extra to record this one, as some of you are aware of, may not be aware of, today, former NFL coach Marty Schottenheimer lost his life to his battle of Alzheimer's at the age of 77. So condolences go out to him and his family, and may he rest in peace. Schottenheimer, over his coaching career with the Browns,
Chargers,
the Chiefs, and the Washington football team, as they're now called, had 200 wins, 126 losses, and one tie in his 21 seasons, although his postseason record was not the greatest. So on that note, like I said, may he rest in peace. And let's get into the Super Bowl. So, Super Bowl. Mahomes picked the absolute worst time, the worst time to have his worst game of the year, argumentatively. Although his offensive line really wasn't the best, he still managed to pick the worst time to have a bad game. He went for 26 for 49 for a completion percentage of about 52%. And the Kansas City offense could not do anything except kick field goals. Although Tyreek Hill, he went 7 for 73. Kelsey had 10 catches for 133 yards. And on the Russian side, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he rushed for 9 attempts for 64 yards. It was a very Super Bowl for the Chiefs. I don't want to say my predictions for it was way off. I predicted 41-38 in a high-scoring affair between two great quarterbacks here. But the Chiefs did not do what we all thought they would do. It actually did not live up to the hype. Although Mahomes put a valiant effort, considering that injured toe, he looked lost, in my opinion. Very lost. And although they couldn't get anything on offense going, by the time it seemed they got the run game going, it was too late. And Mahomes, he still threw for some crazy passes, including a couple passes that almost went for a touchdown because the ball hit the receivers on the helmet. But, I mean, there was one incompletion that I saw that it looked like Mahomes ran for 74 yards on the field before throwing an incompletion. I just can't get over. I mean, the hype was there. Kansas City was ready to run it back to back, but it just seemed like they didn't live up to the hype. It was almost like Kansas City became mortal as a team for once. On the other hand, let's go to Tampa Bay, or whatever you want to call it. The fact that Brady, the GOAT arguably, showed up like he always does, and Gronk turned back the clock, which I did not see coming. It's almost like he saved the best game he could save for last. The last game of the year, the Super Bowl. Brady He went for, let's take a look. He went for 21 out of 29, no interceptions, for 201 yards for a 72-something% completion percentage, which is crazy. In fact, I think he was at 80% going out of the first half. And what was even more nuts was that until almost the end of the first quarter, Brady did not have a passing touchdown in his career in the first quarter of a Super Bowl until he threw that first one to Gronk about 50 seconds left in the quarter, give or take. Speaking of Gronk and turning back the clock, aside for his 2 touchdowns and catching over the middle like he always does, he went 6 for 67. Antonio Brown was 5 for 22 and a touchdown. Fournette actually had looks like 4 catches for 46. And let's see, Fournette, he had 16 attempts on the rush side for 89 yards and a touchdown. And let's see, Mike Evans only had 1 catch for 31 yards. But as I watched him on the postgame show, it didn't really matter to him because he was just happy to have a Super Bowl. I mean, we will all be happy to have a Super Bowl, especially after seeing all the stuff he went through the previous years and all the heartaches that he had. So this was a great win overall for Tampa Bay. That defense showed up. The defense showed up and they stuck it to Mahomes. They shut down Tyreek Hill. They went into a zone and they had two high safeties at times on Tyreek Hill. Wherever Tyreek Hill went, they followed him not once, not twice, but sometimes triple coverage it seemed. And it just threw Kansas City for a complete loop. And it wasn't until they started rushing the ball that they got some success and quick checkdowns, but it wasn't enough to overcome the great Tampa Bay defense with veterans Jason Pierre-Paul and young guys like White. Overall, that defense was superb, and they shut down Kansas City. In fact, the whole Kansas City to 9 points truly is a remarkable accomplishment, considering that in Week 12, Kansas City lit up that defense. And I think Tyreek Hill, if I remember correctly, had about 200 yards in the first half. So to come back against Kansas City and actually have a great game plan by Todd Bowles. They went back, looked at the tape, and they did things tremendously different. And what's even more crazy is that they shut Kansas City out of the end zone, but a crazy fan dressed as, I don't know what he was wearing, made it into the end zone, whereas the Kansas City Chiefs could not finish one drive in the end zone. How ironic is that? Not to mention, all of the points that was scored by Tampa Bay was players that was not even on the team last year. Brady wasn't on the team. Antonio Brown wasn't on the team. Leonard Fournette wasn't on the team. Gronk wasn't on the team. And the field goal kicker, Ryan Suckup, wasn't on the team. It was like a bunch of AFC outcasts got together and said, yo, let's go to a team and win a Super Bowl. That's what it seems like, if you want to put it that way. But still, tremendous game plan overall, top to bottom, bookend to bookend for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Bruce Arians becomes the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl. And it seems like he isn't going anywhere. He might try to go back-to-back and win another one before he decides to walk out. And speaking of winning another ring, yes, Tom the GOAT Brady has now have 7 Super Bowl rings and 5 Super Bowl MVPs. This is truly unheard of, and it looks like he is still going to outpace Father Time, and the ageless wonder is not done yet at 43. In fact, I think he's the first player in professional sports maybe to win 2 different championships over the age of 40
with 2 different teams.
Usually in the 40s, late 30s, early 40s, players decide to go downhill. It's like Tom Brady has found another gear, and he's not letting up anytime soon. Not to mention the Chiefs' penalties. Although it seemed there was a couple penalties that was questionable at best, maybe. Still, even if you still take those 2 penalty drives away that Tampa scored 14 points on, the score could have been, 17-9, still a low scoring game. But no matter what, it was an overall great performance, top to bottom, for Tampa Bay. And for Brady and Tyrann Mathieu to get into it, that was interesting. Yes, the refs are not going to call unsportsmanlike conduct on a quarterback, especially Brady, or any quarterback, it seems. The NFL is going to go out of its way to protect the quarterbacks. But there's no need for that. Yes, things got a little chippy, out of hand a little bit. Especially when, I guess, White threw up the peace sign to Tyreek Hill to get revenge, as you may want to call it, for the first time they met in Week 12 when Tyreek Hill did a backflip into the end zone. Yes, it was comical. Yes, it was, I guess, great in a way, but there's no need for that, really. As I wrap things up quickly here, although I said quickly, but it turned out not to be as quickly as I thought. Mahomes, like I said in my prediction, really needed this game. Although he's 25 and he's going to be back to many of those Super Bowls, if he's got any chance of chasing Brady, he's going to have to start winning quite a few in a row. Because as now, Brady has 7 in his long 20-plus year career. Mahomes has 1. If the Chiefs won, it would have been 6-2. It seems somewhat achievable, maybe. But now 7-1 deficit. I don't know. Time will only tell. Time will only tell. Mahomes is going to do great things going forward. He's going to learn from this loss. But when his career is all said and done, if he doesn't catch Brady or doesn't come close, or even if he does come close to catching Brady, his head-to-head count against Brady is not the greatest. Although I think it's 2-1 in favor of Brady, this Super Bowl loss is going to loom large for Mahomes. And who knows? This could be possibly, we could have this matchup again next year. Which if we do, I hope the ratings are a lot higher, because it seemed like the ratings for this Super Bowl was one of the lowest since 2007. So hopefully, if this matchup happens again next year, it becomes a better game than this 31-9 blowout that we just witnessed. Congratulations to Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the GOAT, Tom Brady, for his 7th Super Bowl ring and his 5th MVP. My name is RJ for the Sports Buzz, and I'll catch you on the flip side.